Good morning, everybody. So I wanted to go ahead and do our end of season statistics and award presentation. I know it's been a little bit since the season ended, but this is something fun for me and all of us to look at, and so I really wanted to keep doing it. We are in the middle of our Stunty League season 5. And so we have a few weeks left on that, and then we're going to wrap it up with a big Death Bowl match between the Stunty teams to determine the Stunty champion for season 5. But I wanted to dive right in. So I guess without further ado, here is the award. So what we're going to start off with is just a little bit of the league totals for season 4. So we had 10 teams participate in this season. This was a Blood Bowl 2016 season. Using the 2016 rules, we played a total of 93 games between the 10 teams in the playoffs. The average team value at the end of the season was about 1430 team value. There was 139 touchdowns scored throughout those 93 games and 176 casualties, which included a record for our season, 20 deaths, which was pretty huge. So as far as team awards go, the wooden spoon, this goes to the guy who really stuck it out throughout the whole time. They had a real tough first season, but the wooden spoon, this comes to the person who gets in last place, goes to the Southwest Backstabbers. They were a Skaven team that had 1,200 team value. They didn't get any wins or any ties. They had 9 losses. They scored 2 touchdowns and had 30 touchdowns scored against them, so they were beat down pretty heavily. They didn't do too bad in the casualty range though. They had a +0 net. I think they were maybe 18 casualties caused, 18 against them if I remember right. And so that team was coached by Jack. So congratulations on that award. The next is the best defense award. The best defense went to the Cave Spring Spartans, which was coached by myself, which was a Norse team. They ended with a team value of 1560K team value. They had 7 wins and 3 losses. They only allowed 8 touchdowns throughout those 10 games, and they ended up with a fourth place finish. And so that award goes to really myself there, which is a award I really like. This is one that I don't want to say pride myself on, but I really like playing good defense. I think that's a real good staple of a good coach. And as you start to become more experienced, you'll allow less and less scores and end up winning more games because you'll end up scoring more than them. So the next is the Patrick Mahomes Award. This goes to the player that has the most expensive salary, and that was Florian Bladesinger. Florian has a whopping payroll of 230,000, which I think may be the most expensive player we've ever had in the league. I think the previous year it was Natty. He was maybe 210, which was a rot spawn. But Florian played for the Birchwood Barons. He's a war dancer who wore number 15. And he had 3 skill upgrades, which was tackle, +1 strength, and +1 agility. So he was a strength 4, agility 5 war dancer with tackle. He collected up 2 MVPs and 9 touchdowns and 3 casualties, which included 1 significant injury caused throughout the season. So congratulations to Florian on winning that award. And that was let's see. The next is the best passer, which was Talia Brightleaf, which was also a player for the Birchwood Barons. Talia is a Wood Elf thrower, which was number 13. And the skill upgrades for Talia included accurate, block, and leader. And Talia had gotten 3 MVPs and thrown 24 completions, which was almost double that of anybody else in the league. So um, Talia's payroll value was 150,000 gold pieces. And so congratulations to the Barons and Talia for that one there. Most brutal, this goes to Codlack Whitemane. Codlack was a monster on the field. He played for the Skyrim Stormcloaks, which was a Norse Yeti who wore number 16. And the skill upgrades for Codlack included Mighty Blow, Piling On, and Block. He had only gotten 1 MVP, but he had a total of 12 casualties caused, including 8 badly hurts, 2 significant injuries, and 2 kills. Codlack, I believe, is either the most violent player we've ever had in a league, if not top two. There was a couple that were up there. There was a Minotaur that was on a Chaos Renegade team that was pretty nasty one year. So he may be the most deadly player we've probably ever had. And Kodlak's payroll values 210,000 gold pieces. So next we have the highest scorer. This was no surprise. Snip Silent Paul kind of led the league in scoring most of the time. It seemed like everybody was after trying to kill Snips because it seemed to be all of the Eshin Assassins offense. So he was a gutter runner that wore number 5. The skill upgrades that Snips had was block, leap, and two heads. And the Eshin Assassins scored a total of 17 touchdowns throughout the year, and 15 of which were done by Snips. So he was quite the ball hog when it came to trying to spread around the touchdown love. But it's understandable as he was able to cut through and get just about anywhere to score. And Snips had a payroll value of 170,000 gold pieces. So congratulations to Snips and the Eshin Assassins for that one. The next award is our Spike Magazine Award. This goes to the player that had the most SPP in a single season, and this also goes to Snip Silent Paul. You guys kind of know all about him, but he racked up a whopping 60 star player points in one season alone. And so he kind of takes Balfour's previous accomplishment, and he probably about doubled the amount of SPP that Balfour even got in that season 3. So congratulations to Snips again on winning that award, as well as he becomes our Spike Magazine Player of the Year. And then now I wanted to get it a little bit into the playoffs, kind of what happened, kind of a summary recap of what it went on there. So the playoffs ended up with 4 teams making it in the playoffs, which was the Birchwood Barons, the Night Terrors, the Cave Spring Spartans, and the Wraith Serpents. And you can see here the Birchwood Barons and the Night Terrors played, in which the Night Terrors pulled out an upset there to move on to the championship game. And the Cave Spring Spartans and Wraith Serpents played, in which that was a really great game that actually went into overtime. The Spartans were up, I think, 2-0 going into like turn 12 or 13. And the Wraith Serpents came back, tied it 2-2. And by the time overtime came along, there were virtually no players left over for the Spartans. And so the Wraith Serpents went on. And then the Night Terrors and the Serpents faced off in a championship match for the Season 4 champion, and the champion, as many of you know, ended up being the Wraith Serpents. So the Wraith Serpents ended their season at 1490 K team value. They ended with 7 wins, 3 draws, and just a single loss. They scored 21 total touchdowns, and they had 12 touchdowns scored against them. They had a plus 19 net casualty. They were the second highest scoring team in the league, and they were coached by Doug Phillips. So congratulations, Doug, on winning season 4 with your Lizardmen there. It was a really great season, and I think everybody had a lot of fun. So hopefully we move on with that. So kind of just looking at the final standings where everybody ended up. The Wraith Serpents got first place, the Night Terrors second, the Birchwood Barons got third, the Cave Spring Spartans were fourth, the Skyrim Stormcloaks fifth, the Eshin Assassins sixth, the Hazmat Hulks seventh, the Mad Hat Clover Clobbers got eighth, ninth was the Broad Street Ghoulies, and 10th the Southwest Backstabbers. So I just want to thank everybody for playing in the season. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully we all come back for another season as we move forward. So kind of looking at what's next. So we're finishing up the season 5 Stunty League. That's Blood Bowl 2016 rules. We did merge with the Cave Spring Crash, which was a Blood Bowl 2020 league locally that had uh, 14-ish coaches throughout that league. And because of that, we formed a committee. So I guess there's kind of a commissioner committee now that will exist, and that includes myself, Mark Crouch from the SCBBL, Alex, and Fluff, as many of you know. So the 4 of us will kind of be the administrators or commissioners for the SCBBL moving forward. Um, And so you can feel free to reach out to any of us about anything. And then we are also transitioning from Facebook Messenger to Discord. So if you do not have the Discord invite, you want to be on our Discord, um, please feel free. That's where we're going to be scheduling, our matches, get information, updates about the league. People will post, kind of tournament stuff going on around the surrounding states and in Virginia, and also there will be some information about um, kind of the more or less disclaimers of um, code of conducts and things like that that everybody wants to be aware of. Um, so we are going to have a committee meeting to discuss the upcoming rules. That is going to be next Tuesday. So we're all going to meet and talk. As many of you know, we're all going to transition to the Blood Bowl second season moving forward. So um, we'll look to implement that as best we can. That helps everybody have fun, be able to include as many rules as we can, but not overwhelm new players to a large extent. And so what we're going to look at is the next steps. I think right now the plan is for us to do a street ball league to generate draftees for the upcoming, I guess, season 6 or the merged league that we come up with. Um, that'll also be something we'll want to talk about. We do have a tournament that I'm hosting in November, which is the Mill Mountain Grinder, as long as COVID allows for. It's a really cool tournament. There is let me grab it here, a custom pitch you can get with that. So I've done some test prints and things. So if you're interested in street ball is essentially a very deadly version of Blood Bowl. It's very narrow and long. So the sidelines are a lot more close and deadly to knock you off. So I'll be looking at taking pre-orders for that so that I can get some people some pitches. Um, but a regular Blood Bowl pitch will work for street ball if that's all you have. Um, that being said, we'll look to start the street ball league. It'll probably be, my guess is it's not going to be until middle to end of October or even November. Um, but once we do that, we'll run that for a couple months, generate some draftees for classes, and then start season 6. I would guess maybe around the new year is realistically when it probably will happen. Um, and that'll give people some time to practice some Blood Bowl 2020 rules before, the Big Lick Brawl 2022 ends up happening a little later in the spring. So, with that being said, I guess I just want to thank everybody again for participating in the league. Thank you for letting me be the commissioner again. I think this is our 4th year doing this, so if you've stuck around for all 4 years, or even if you're new, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you still playing. And hopefully we get to see you all again soon. Congratulations again to the Wraith Serpents and all of the single individual award winners. And I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks.